Gold Medal for his pioneering contributions to space exploration. It is my great privilege to introduce another Marine aviator who made his historic first flight to orbit in 1962 and returned to space aboard Discovery 36 years later. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Senator John Glenn.
Thank you all very much. Now, perhaps it started with the pioneers who first lived in this new land, but Americans have always had a curious, questing nature that has served us well. What's over the next hill? What's around the next bend? In the laboratory, if we could just learn how to separate out this chemical, could we use it to do, well, whatever. Explore they did. It paid off beyond their wildest dreams. They sent out scouts followed by wagon trains that moved to the west over almost insurmountable obstacles of forest, mountains, rivers, deserts, and weather. Sometimes there were losses, but they pressed on. A good day's trip for a wagon train was about 10 miles as they made the 6-month journey to Oregon or California. Now, Discovery behind me here, Discovery in orbit, could travel that 10 miles in just 2 seconds, albeit at a little higher altitude. Meanwhile, new science breakthroughs were changing our nation. In the early 1880s, railroads replaced wagon trains. Gasoline engines brought on automobiles. And just 23 years after the last wagon train, the Wright brothers flew at Kitty Hawk in 1903. But for tens of thousands of years, people looked up at the blue sky by day and the stars and moon by night and wondered what was up there. Could we ever go up there? What would we do if we could go up there? There seemed to be, again, almost insurmountable odds against that ever happening. But we must count ourselves among the most fortunate people of all time to be living when we could realize that ages-old dream to finally go up there. As we made suborbital and orbital flight in 1962, just 59 years after Kitty Hawk. Mercury and Gemini developed our abilities, followed by Apollo, and Neil Armstrong's never-to-be-forgotten, first ever footprints on someplace other than Earth. We transitioned from Apollo to a new vehicle, the Space Shuttle, which was intended to broaden opportunities for orbital activities, and it certainly did. Space Shuttle Discovery is the star. It has the most extensive record of all the shuttle fleet. Its 39 missions included a whole bunch of things, but it became a science platform for 9 flights, a satellite launcher for 12 flights, a telescope repair station, which Charlie already mentioned, and he was the commander of putting it up there on Discovery, that has literally rewritten the astronomy books for all time, and also served as a plain, flat-out truck. It was the first space station delivery truck. 13 flights it made, put together the space station that goes over us even today. Discovery was truly a heavy hauler in construction of the International Space Station, and that station is now doing continuing research with 15 international partners for us in the most unique scientific laboratory ever conceived. The unfortunate decision made 8.5 years ago to terminate the shuttle fleet, in my view, prematurely grounded Discovery and delayed our research, but those decisions have been made, and we recovered, and now we move on with new programs and possibilities unlimited. Today we also honor those who made Discovery possible, the scientists, engineers who designed this most complex machine ever built, the technicians and dedicated workforce that kept it not only flight-worthy, but flight excellent through these many years, and the nearly 250 astronauts who flew on Discovery, represented here today by the 15 former Discovery flight commanders. Today, Discovery takes on a new mission. Less dynamic, perhaps, but nonetheless important. It will be on display not only as a testament to events of our time, but also as an inspiration to future generations. It will be a symbol for our nation of space flight that presents optimism and hope and challenge and leadership and aspiration to explore and to excel. And that's a big mission in its own right. We recently celebrated the 50th anniversary of our first orbital flight. In a speech to Congress following that flight, I closed with a statement that I would repeat today. As our knowledge of the universe in which we live increases, may God grant us the wisdom and guidance to use it wisely.